Hi boys and girls, welcome to preschool. We sure miss you. We thought we'd do our colors and our shapes today. So will you help me? What's this color? You're right, it's red. What's this one? Blue, good job. How about this? What? Yep, orange. This is orange. You know what this is? Yellow. We like yellow, huh? Green. We've been using that for St. Patrick's Day, huh? How about this? Can you see it? Purple. Oh, a lot of us love purple, don't we? What's this? Brown. This is a brown bear. And this one's tricky because we don't think it is what it says. What color do you think that bear is? Can you tell? It's really gray. This says black, but we know that's not black. This is gray. This is gray. We'll find a black in a minute. Okay? My shirt has some black. You see that? There it is. Some black and white. We don't show white very much, but this is white. A lot of you love this. What's this color? Pink. And what shape? You're right, it's a star. We've been talking about a lot of stars in outer space, haven't we? What shape is this? Not a hexagon. Yep, an octagon. What's this one? It's like an egg, a football. Yep, an oval. And you all know this one, a heart. What's this? Yeah, it's a circle. Some of you went to a dentist's office and they taught us to brush our teeth in a circular motion, a circle. What's this one? We have a lot of these in the world, squares. And this one? A diamond, you know that. What's this one? A triangle? Those are hard to remember. A triangle. And this one? Rectangle, like a door or a table. So these are kind of tricky. Rectangle, triangle. Rectangle, triangle. Hey, I hope you helped me. Thanks. Hi again. Here we are. Look, we got some awesome friends. These are Miss Lonnie's kids. This is Liam. He's 8. And this is Scarlett. She's 11. They're going to help us find colors today. Scarlett's going to look for blue. Liam's going to look for yellow. We'll follow them around and see if they know what those colors are. Here goes Liam. He's going to find yellow first. Everybody, thanks for the colors today. We hope you look around your house and find lots of colors. Show somebody.
And today I'm going to be reading you What Makes a Rainbow. Little Rabbit and his mother were sitting under a big red flower petal. Look, said Little Rabbit, it stopped raining. Yes, said Mama Rabbit, soon we will see a rainbow. What makes a rainbow? Asked Little Rabbit. Why don't you go and ask your friends, said Mama Rabbit. Ladybug, what makes a rainbow? Asked Little Rabbit. Red, said Ladybug gently, closing her red wings. You need red to make a rainbow. Mr. Fox, what makes a rainbow? Asked Little Rabbit. Orange, said Mr. Fox, swinging his orange tail. You need orange to make a rainbow. Little chick, what makes a rainbow? Asked Little Rabbit. Yellow, said Little Chick, fluffing her soft yellow fuzz. You need yellow to make a rainbow. Mr. Grasshopper, what makes a rainbow? Asked Little Rabbit. Green, said Mr. Grasshopper, rubbing his long green legs together. You need green to make a rainbow. Bluebird, what makes a rainbow? Asked Little Rabbit. Blue, said Bluebird, ruffling her pretty blue feathers. You need blue to make a rainbow. Butterfly, what makes a rainbow? Asked Little Rabbit. Purple, said Butterfly, spreading her delicate purple wings. You need purple to make a rainbow. Well, said Mama Rabbit to Little Rabbit, now you know what makes a rainbow. Rain colors red, orange, yellow, green, and purple, and sunshine.
Hi, we're finishing talking about our solar system today. And we have the sun here in our solar system. We also have Mercury, which is our smallest planet in the solar system. And we have Venus, which is about the same size as Earth. Then we have Earth, which is third from the sun. See, 1, 2, 3. Then we have Mars. These are called our land planets. And they have land. The ones out from these are called gas giants, which means they're mostly made up of gas. These are mostly made up of rock and dirt and land. Hi guys, do you remember last time you were here, we were talking about our solar system. And in our solar system, we talked about the sun being at the center of our solar system. So I have this really cool picture I'm going to show you. It's of our solar system. And you'll see that in the very center is our sun, just like we talked about before. The planet closest to the sun is called Mercury. This is what Mercury looks like if you were to look at it through a telescope. Remember, a telescope is something that makes things look a lot bigger than they actually are. So you can see things that are really far away. So if we look through a really big telescope, we can see that Mercury looks like this. There are craters all over Mercury from rocks and asteroids and meteors that have smashed into it. There is no air on Mercury. That means you can't breathe there. So we couldn't live there without air. And it's really, really hot on most parts of Mercury. Mercury spins really slowly. So one side that's facing the sun, remember that it's the closest to the sun, and that side is always super hot. And as it turns slowly, the other side is really cold. So if we look at these pictures, we would see if you were standing on Mercury, the sun would look pretty big. Not like it looks here on Earth. The sun would look really a lot bigger and it would be really hot if you could actually stand on it. This is what it looks like really close up on Mercury. It kind of looks like the moon, don't you think? A little bit like the moon. Mercury and the moon both have a lot of craters, and they were made a long time ago. Some of the craters were made when meteorites hit Mercury and the moon. So meteors hit both our moon and Mercury. Gravity is different on Mercury. Remember how we talked about if the planet is bigger, gravity is stronger and it's holding you down really, 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 really strong. But Mercury is pretty small, and so you would feel really bouncy on Mercury. Hey, remember Mercury is right next to the sun. Next we'll talk about Venus. Okay, this time we're talking about Venus. Remember we talked about Mercury. It does have land, meaning you could walk on it, but it doesn't have any air, doesn't have any plants, any animals, anything like that. So now we're going to talk about Venus. Venus is covered by a blanket of clouds, and those clouds hold in the heat in Venus. Kind of like a blanket. If you put a blanket over you, you get hotter. So hotter on Venus because of the blanket of clouds that surround it. These clouds also have storms that rain, acid rain. And acid rain is just kind of like a poisonous rain that can hurt you. If you were to look underneath the clouds on Venus, it would look like this. There are a lot of volcanoes on Venus, a lot of lava, and a lot of sulfur, which is a kind of a gas that's poisonous. And if you were to breathe it, it would hurt you and hurt your lungs. So we can't live on Venus. Even though it's about the same size as Earth, it's too hot and it's too stormy and it rains acid rain. So here's a picture of Earth and Venus next to each other. You can see that they are about the same size. So here's Earth and here's Venus. They're about the same size. So gravity on Venus would be about the same as it is here on Earth. Venus doesn't have any water. It does have mountains, but they're covered in lava, and they are mostly volcanic mountains. And there are no oceans or water on Venus. And Venus is second from the sun. So the first would be Mercury next to the sun, and then Venus. So let's see what this says. Venus has no moons. So Venus doesn't have any moons. So if you were looking up at the night sky on Venus, you wouldn't see any moons. That would be really weird, huh? All right, thanks for talking to me about Venus. Remember when we were talking about Earth? Earth is the third planet from the sun. So we have 1, 2, 3. And that's where we live. We talked about Earth and the 3 things that we have to live here on Earth. We have to have air, we have to have water, and you remember the third thing? Land or ground. We have to have ground. Without those things, we could not live here. And no other planet in our solar system has all 3 things. The next planet we're going to talk about is Mars. Mars is called the red planet. And it's called that because the sand and rock and dirt on Mars is colored kind of a reddish color. And that's because of a mineral called iron that's in the soil of Mars. So here is a picture of Mars that somebody took with a telescope. Scientists have found that Mars has some frozen parts on it, just like our Earth has frozen parts at the top and at the bottom. It has some ice on the North Pole and the South Pole of Mars. But there's no water. There's no lakes or rivers or oceans. There's no plants, no animals. And gravity is a little different than it is here on Earth because it's smaller. If you look right here, you'll see Mars is about half the size of Earth. So if you went to Mars, you would feel like you could jump really high. If you played basketball, you could always dunk the ball up into the net every single time. You would be such a great jumper if you lived on Mars. If you wanted to visit Mars, you would have to take some things with you. You would have to take air. There's no air on Mars. You would have to take food. You would have to take water. You'd have to take something that kept you warm because it's colder on Mars. And you probably would want to take something that you could live in, like a shelter or a tent. Some people think that one day we might actually live on Mars. What do you think? Do you think we might live on Mars? I don't know. We'll see what happens. So here's an astronaut. He has certain things that he has to wear because he is going out into space. And just like if we went to Mars, we would have to wear suits like this. We'd have to have air in our suit, and it would keep us warmer because Mars is a little bit colder than here on Earth. Here's like a drawing somebody drew of what they think it might look like one day on Mars if they landed there and built something like a building, and people might live there one day. What do you think? Maybe talk to your mom and dad about what it would be like to live on Mars, what you might do. Would you be able to play games outside? You'd have to wear a spacesuit, so would that be hard? Could you jump on the trampoline on Mars? I don't know, it might be pretty tricky. All right, thanks for learning about Mars with me.